Yo guys, what's going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys my live stream discussion slash review on Eden Zero chapter 273. And I am not gonna be front with you guys on this. I literally just got back from work. And instead of doing my usual routine of alright, come home, refresh, come back and just, do what I need to do throughout the day. I told myself now, when I get home, I'm gonna talk about Eden Zero first because, dog, this latest chapter was something else. Quite literally, something else. So let's dive into this. Chapter was called Purification. So we're at Earth 20,000 years ago, and we're with Connor. Humans, animals, the sky, the Earth, vice versa. All things have a stream of energy flowing through them that we call ether. We all assumed it would be too difficult to prove at the current level of science. But recently, a certain Dr. Yuna has written a thesis that does prove its existence. And you get Ivory just kind of thinking back like Yuna, to which, we see, you know, Valkyrie walking in saying, yo, then you see Witch. We brought you a get well gift. Regret? And of course, you got Hermit right behind her. I believe the three of you were classmates in college. And then you got Yuna saying, we can't seem to get rid of each other. Regret says, although it has been some time since we've all been together like this. And Ivory says, would you believe she's actually a defense attorney? And she looks over saying, who is that? My name is Mio. So this is actually the very first time that Mio's actually, or in this case Herman, the very first time Herman's actually met all three of them. It's actually interesting when you really take that into consideration that this is like their very first meeting. At least Hermit meeting all three of them. Apparently, she came all the way from Japan just to see Yuna. A fan. And she goes on to say, and she brought her boyfriend with her too. And Mio's like, she's not my boyfriend. Or he's not my boyfriend. He's just a friend from school. Anyway, let me see here. She and her friend have been doing some interesting research. And it has a lot to do with your ether therapy. Huh? Well, what do you mean? 3 months later. So we cut in time a little bit. And we see it's Regret with her. And she's like, how are you feeling? And Ivory's like, honestly, I can't believe how great I feel. I can't believe that I'm outside walking around again. And you see like how cheery she is, like she's like super happy. And Regret's like, you had your regular checkup today, didn't you? And Ivory's like, yeah. And there were no problems. I'm fit as a fiddle. See, I can jump, I can run and jump and everything. Like you see, like how happy she is. She's like so joyous. That makes Regret super happy. And then she kind of paused for a second and says, "I'm sorry for all the trouble I caused everybody." And she's like, "Trouble? Don't be silly. We're just as happy as you are that you're feeling better." And he's like, "So? You're helping Yuna and Mia with some experiment, right? Would you let me help too? I don't know what this experiment is, but I want to do something." And we cut a little bit in time. Some more time kind of passes by. And it's like Yuna on the phone. Yes. All right. I see. Yes. Oh, really? Yes. Thanks for calling. Phone call's done. And then we see, of course, Herman's like right behind her. What was that the hospital? And Yuna's like, yep, telling me how Ivory's exam went. All the mysterious tumors have disappeared, and there are no signs of metastasis. And Herman's like, whew, that's such good news. In other words, We have proven that ether can have self-purification abilities. She's like, then exactly. Our world ether may be drying up. But if we can get the entire Earth's ether to its critical point first, then we can make the planet overdrive, which, if we're looking at it like that, that is essentially with what, based on this line of dialogue here, ultimately what it's saying is through that overdrive is kind of how Mother comes into fruition, is through the acts of like, you know, the four of them. It's our only hope of saving our planet. Which brings an interesting spin when you really look at it. It's like they all did this to save the planet. And I don't know. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Final Fantasy VII in a way, in a similar sense. Not the same thing, but Final Fantasy VII also kind of dealt with like the planet, right? And this one's kind of similar in that fashion too, if you really look at it. But I do kind of feel bad. Like we used poor sick Ivory as a guinea pig, is what Hermit says. But then he's like, "Don't be ridiculous, Mio." She was like this grin from Valkyrie. She's like, she was definitely a guinea pig. Cut back over to Regret and Ivory, and Regret's like, "Help with the experiment? Don't worry. You've helped plenty. I assure you." And now is the part we cut over to Shiki and Rebecca, and Shiki's like, "Make the planet overdrive." And Rebecca's like, "Wait, how is that? Is that how it changed shape?" Then you get happy, and the planet Earth turned into Mother. And then Pino's like, Does that mean the plan they discussed for here as a success?" To which Shiki's like, "And hey, when do I come into all this?" And Rebecca looks at him saying, "I mean, this is 20,000 years ago, so dot dot dot." But Shiki continues to go on and say, "But yeah, but I made a promise, right? To make some choice." And Mother just says this simply, like, "Yeah, okay, let's move forward in time. Just a few months. That's all we need, just a few months." So they move forward in time a bit, and you look over, and this is the thumbnail of the video. Like I thought of like, okay, which thumbnail I wanted to use, and this one kind of spoke to me because it's like, okay, it's not giving a lot away as to what we get, and it could practically mean anything, right? But I thought it was like a cool like double panel shot where you get Shiki's reaction, you get Rebecca's reaction, and she's like, "That's." Then you get Happy saying, "Witch and wizard," and you see, Witch holding a baby in her arms, and you got Witch right next, not Witch, a wizard right next to her, and you see the baby, right? Baby's right there, and Rebecca's like, "A baby," and then you see the sweat like dropping on Shiki. Like, wait, don't tell me that's like he kind of gets an answer, but he's not entirely sure. And Mother just lays it out flat, like saying, "It is. That is you, Shiki." And you see like how happy, like it brings like Rebecca to tears. Happy's like happy, obviously. Pino's in joy too, and the immediate reaction Shiki has, like, which means, "Whoa, what? Which is my mom?" And of course, kind of similar to the ending of the last chapter, Mother says, "But their happiness did not last long." And you see, like, everything, like, in corrosion. Like, you see, like, the gas that's kind of like immuting, or in this case, ether. And Mother ends off the chapter by saying this: "The countdown to Earth's destruction had already begun." And, like, that's the ending. This is the ending of the chapter. And if we're talking about story progression, you do get a lot of stuff. Okay. One, you kind of get, not even kind of, like, Mother explained two things. Like, all right, we have this, which, was Ivory's treatment, ether therapy. And through that ether therapy, that leads to Hermit and Yuna kind of formulating an idea of, wait a second, hold on. With this, we could possibly save the planet too. And in doing so, that could, in a way, you know, help lead into the creation of Mother. Unintentionally, by the way. That was not their. The whole Mother thing was not really, you know, what they were expecting. It was like, all right, we have this ether, let's put it into overdrive. Maybe through that could possibly save the planet. And of course, that's something kind of Rebecca pointed to. Is like, wait, so all this kind of leads into that. It's fascinating. Like it's honestly like really, really fascinating. And of course, Shiki's reaction to him discovering that witch and wizard were his parents. I mean, here's the thing: a lot of people I've seen kind of be kind of shocked about this. Like, whoa, wait, for real? Like, wizard and witch were his parents? But oh boy, ignore that. That was my message app going off. But when you take this into perspective, I mean, Hero's kind of been laying out the breadcrumbs for like a while. Sorry about that. Just just ignore that. But it really does, you know, kind of say a lot about where Hero was going with this. And like if you look at it, guys, I am so sorry about this. But let me do one thing actually. If I can keep this on mute. There we go. Whew. All right. My phone was just going off. No, but in all seriousness, though, like this is very similar to the 20,000 years in the future with Shiki and Ziggy. Like you had the little breadcrumbs with that, and that was leading into of okay, so Ziggy is future Shiki, and in this case, it was like okay, you go 20,000 years in the past, and you focused a lot more on witch and wizard, sprinkling in the little bits and pieces that we got from like Valkyrie, and of course you get the little pieces from Hermit too. So, and of course little tiny bits and pieces from Ivory. But all of that was leading into this of okay, it was leading into Mother, getting a little bit of like, all right, so how does she come about? But there's one key thing we haven't gotten yet, and that is the promise of what Shiki made to Mother. Which, remember, one of the very last few things we got for the 20,000 years in the past was Ziggy showing up. So if he's there at this point in time, you know for damn sure, that this is going to lead to whatever that promise was, and it's gonna be interesting to see what gets unfolded. And I have seen a lot of people saying of like, "Yo, I think Eden Zero will probably end in like volume 32." The thing is Hero gonna rush through everything just to get to that? I don't think so. Like, I think at most, because here's the thing: each volume of Eden Zero has contained like 9 chapters of volume, right? This current volume, 274 and 275 is going to conclude volume 31. If we're ending early, I'm going to say volume 33, which will be 283, or 294, which is volume 34, something like that. But aside from that, you guys, like, I wish I could sit around and talk like I usually do, but I do have to get going. Overall, my thoughts on this week's chapter of Eden Zero: pure perfection. It's a pure perfection chapter. I can't wait to see what happens next. And aside from that, guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky G7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more Eden Zero, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.